This is the question asked in today's SkillTrack Daily Challenge. So our task is to implement a function named integer2array. So this function will be accepting an integer in its arguments and it will convert that integer into an array. For example, if the integer accepted in the argument is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then this function will form an array with integers 1 at the index 0 and 2 at the index 1 and then 3 at the index 2. So like that, this function will convert the given integer into an array. So in this case, the integer n was positive. So it was easy to convert the integer n into an array. Suppose if the given integer n is negative, first we have to convert the integer n into a positive value. So in the sample input 2, we can see that the given input is negative. So first what we have to do is we have to convert this integer into a positive value by multiplying it with -1. So when we multiply it with -1, we get the positive value of the integer, and then we should convert the integer into array so that we can get the desired output. So this is how we should be converting the given integer into array. Now let us see how to write a C program for this. So this structure variable named bounded array has two integers, an integer named size and an integer pointer named arr. So after converting the integer n into an array, we have to store the length of array into the integer size, and then we have to store the integer array into the pointer named arr. And then we have the function named integer2array which accepts the integer n in its arguments. So we should be implementing this function named integer2array, and then in the main function, first we are accepting an integer n as an input, and then we are converting that integer into an array using this function, and we are printing the array. So now let us see how we will be implementing this function named integer2array. So in this function integer2array, first we should check whether the integer n is a negative value or not, because if it is a negative value, then we should convert it into a positive value. So first we have to implement a condition like if n is less than 0, then multiply n with -1 so that it will be converted into a positive value. And now we will be converting the integer n into an array. So I'm creating an integer array named arr of size 101, and then I'm creating a character array named num of size 101. So what we are going to do is we are going to convert the given integer n into a character array, and after converting it into a character array, we will be iterating through every character and convert that character into a decimal value so that we can easily convert the integer n into a integer array. So first we are going to convert the integer n into a character array. So to do that, we are going to make use of the sprintf function. So here in the sprintf function, first I am giving the name of the destination. So we have to convert the integer n and store it into the character array named num. So I am giving num, and then within the double quotes we should give the specifier, and then we should give the source. So here the source is the integer n. So now the integer n will now be enclosed within the double quotes, and that value will now be stored into the character array named num, so that we have converted the integer n into a character array. And now we are going to iterate through every character. So I am creating a loop that iterates from 0 till the string length of num, so that we will be iterating through the every character of num, and in every iteration we will be converting the particular character into a decimal value and store it into the integer array arr. So in every iteration we should set arri is equal to the decimal value of num of I. So if we store directly arri is equal to num of I, then the ASCII value will be stored. So to convert the ASCII into decimal value, we should be subtracting the character at the index num of I with 0. So in every iteration of the loop, we should be giving the condition like arri is equal to num of I minus the character 0. Only then the decimal value of the character will be stored into the integer array, else the ASCII value will be stored. So finally, after the execution of loop, the integer array will contain all the digits of the integer n. So now we have to store those in the structure variable. So first we should create a variable for the structure named bounded array. So I am creating two variables. The first variable is barr and then a pointer named ptr. And now we should link both the pointer and the barr. So in the next line I am storing the address of barr into the pointer. So now we have linked both BARR and pointer. So whatever the changes we are going to make in BARR will be automatically reflected in the pointer also. So now we should store the length of the integer array and the integer array into the structure. So first I'm going to store the size. So the size is nothing but the string length of num. So I'm setting BARR dot size is equal to string length of num, and then in the next line we should store the array. So the structure had another pointer named ARR. So we should be setting like BARR dot ARR is equal to the integer array which we have created. So again BARR dot ARR is equal to ARR, so that the integer array and the length of the integer array will now be stored into the structure variable, and then finally we will be returning the pointer of the structure variable BARR, so that we will be iterating through every integer and printing the required output in the main function. So this is the logic. Thank you for watching.